All right, so now that I'm out from under all of those papers, one of the biggest tax questions I get all the time is, are our pets a tax deduction? I mean, I had one person that really wanted to make them a dependent. They said they were told because it was a working dog that they were dependents. And trust me, if anyone's big enough to be a dependent, one of my children, I should introduce you. I don't think you've actually met Goliath before. He's actually the biggest of my family, but these are my children, and yes, I love them, but are they tax deductions? Well, I have a little bit of a video I'm going to show you that's going to probably explain that a little bit more, and I'll just tell you some of the answers to your questions as the video rolls. Okay, so one of the questions you have are, can I write off my pet? Well, as you can see, if it's a working dog, that's a really hard question to answer. So if this is a rescue dog, or if this is a dog that does therapy, those kind of dogs can qualify for tax deductions. Medical, feeding bills, all the things, even some of the training that you've put the dog into, and that can be very, very expensive. But it's really important, guys, if you have a dog that is a working dog, make sure that you keep all of your documentation, because you're going to have to prove that they're licensed and that they have spent that kind of money on them. The other part of it all comes down to is plain and simple. If you have pets, and these pets are loving pets. I mean, they're the ones that's going to keep us healthy. You do know, right? Statistically proving people that own dogs live longer than people that do not own pets. That's right. And that's one of the things that a lot of people forget, is that they have a therapeutic reason for having them. But really, we all have them just because we love them. But one of the things you're seeing when you're watching this, these are working dogs. If your dog is this kind of dog, one that's out there doing this kind of work, working in the fire department, the police departments, all these kind of things, yes, you can write them off your taxes. But don't come to me and tell me that your dog is a therapy because, you know, he helps me go for a walk every day. He makes me get out of the house. I can tell you right now, that's not therapy. It's just that you're lazy and you need an excuse, because otherwise you're going to be cleaning up things. You don't need that. All you need to have is the fact that your dog will not be a tax deduction. Seriously, guys, when it comes to these kind of things, you need to make sure you understand what is and what isn't. There is a publication 502. I want anyone that thinks that their dog might be a tax deduction. You need to get this publication at www.irs.gov. That publication is going to explain in detail all these working dogs that you're watching throughout this video. They qualify. Will your dog qualify? Maybe. Maybe you've got a dog. One of the biggest things they say, they offer security for my business, and my business is in my home. Therefore, is this dog a qualified tax deduction? You know, again, there's what's called gray and there's just plain old red, guys. And I'm telling you right now, that's a red flag. Your dog is a household pet. Unless for some reason he is caged throughout the day, you've proven that this dog has been trained for physical, therapy or for security purposes. And then you only let them out when there's no one around and they are basically otherwise not a household pet. Maybe you could prove that, but you're going to have documentation, documentation, documentation. I can't tell you enough. The one way that you always win with the Internal Revenue Service is to out-document them. And I showed you earlier how they were burying us in documentation, so they're really good at that. So you're going to have to make sure that you've got more than they do. And one way to do that is to make sure you're not wasting time on tax deductions that are not. So the question at the beginning of all this was, really, is your pet a tax deduction? If I'm calling it your pet, I think you already know, plain and simple, not a tax deduction. When there are pets, that's what they are. We get them for the pleasure of having them, not for any other reason. So if I could put it plain and simple, if you're asking me if your pet is a tax deduction, the answer has to be no. All right, so now you know what I do for a living. More important, you know how to get your kids off the sofa and to work. No kid is too young to learn how to be an awesome entrepreneur. And if you need me to come to one of your events, just pick up the phone and give me a call. That's what I love to do. I love to educate people and learn more about it. Now, one of the things I want to share with you, it's the holiday seasons. And one of the things that happened today, and I know this is a pre-recorded show, so today may kind of echo along the next month or so, but what it comes down to is I have 500,000 lights I hang for Christmas. In fact, I love Christmas. I love decorating for Christmas. I love, as far as my gift to my neighborhood is spreading the cheer, having red, green, as many lights as I can find and putting them out there. But you never know if you're really making a difference, right? I mean, sometimes you feel like, am I doing all this? And maybe it's not the smartest thing. But this morning, I kind of got that wake up, you know, where someone said something. I went out, checked my lights like I do every morning, make sure that nothing's fallen over. You know how that is. Went to my, out front, I have a mailbox. And someone, a child, whoops, left this in the mailbox. And it's obviously, you can see, it's a cute little piggy bank. And a little card was attached to it, just said, thank you for the lights. No name. No information on who. I'm assuming it's a child that left this. But more important, it kind of gets through and you say, oh, all right, finally, you know, someone else is loving this as much as I am. So I am going to pass it on, and we're going to go to the Nashville Rescue, and we're going to give $500 to them on the behalf of this anonymous person, because in my opinion, that's one of the things you want to be able to do. So one of the things we're going to figure out how to do is, first we're going to take Piggy here, and we're going to find out how much money is in Piggy, because, you know, one of the things I really love about Christmas is opening things. So we're going to open Piggy. Ah, don't you love it? Oh my gosh, guys, you have to see this. There is actually, I'm a coin fanatic, gold coins. There are gold coins in there. So anyways, I am going to write a check to the Nashville Rescue. I hope you guys enjoyed this show as much as I did. We had an awesome time. Have a fabulous holiday. Cop you later.